Now, woo!
Excitement.
Yeah, excitement. I don't know. I was pretty excited to be on Reddit. That I was looking up all sorts of meta stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Team Liquid is really interesting. Team Liquid pictures of
We were not watching StarCraft
and
episodes.
waterfalls in Iceland. Beautiful pictures. You know what's also beautiful? Sleepercells.
This game?
This game. Way to steal the thunder there. This
Sorry,
game
my bad.
is going to
My
be
bad.
absolutely beautiful. Spawning into Aegis Wastes on the top left-hand corner, winning the first series of the day. It is going to be TP North America Aegis as our blue Terran player on the top left-hand side of Aegis Wastes. That is the 11 o'clock position, Sleeper.
It is indeed a position on the clock. Coffee break. Spawning in the bottom right, it is going to be our Zerg player. He is playing red. It is going to be IMP's Spawn, who also went ahead and won his first series, and by that I mean he got a bye. So he beat that bye quite well.
He beat the bye that's beating off a nap in my mind. I'm just saying. And by the way, I was wondering, you know, what clock position is Spawn in, Sleeper? Would you like to inform us what clock?
The bottom right.
Gosh, that is going to be the 5 o'clock position for Spawn. And keep in mind, Spawn was actually sitting in the audience watching Aegis play his last match. So he knows vaguely what Aegis is up to here. So he probably knows, and I know actually we were talking beforehand, he knows that Aegis likes to go that biomine composition. The question is, can he stop it even if he sees it coming? Because Aegis is just such a solid player. Or is Aegis going to decide, you know what, he might know what's going on. Maybe I'll try mech this game. Maybe I'll try an earlier timing push. Pretty much, I mean, the playbook's wide open for Aegis. I think Spawn's the one kind of getting meta in this matchup here.
Yeah, I've been watching both these players a little bit over the course of the past couple days. We've got this awesome LAN happening over in front of us, so we've been able to get a look at both of the players. You are facepalming, sir. What is facepalm worthy?
I was just incredulous at your wonderful knowledge of the location of the LAN.
It is in
front of us.
It is indeed in front of us.
It is. So Aegis here just going to be getting that 1 rack down, getting the 1 gas down, probably going to be opening up the same way that he did in the previous series, just getting the factory out, getting the command center up on the high ground, might put it on the low ground, but I mean, really no point in one way or the other, to be quite honest here. Spawn going to be doing the 16 hatchery, and gas first, then going into that spawning pool. So the way this times out, right as that pool finishes, we have enough gas for the metabolic boost upgrade. But I do know, I was talking to Spawn before the tournament, and he does like to go for very fast hive plays sometimes. So, I mean, Spawn's playbook is pretty wide open in that, right? Just needs to make sure to calm down. I know that he was getting pretty jittery before all this. Calm down and just play a good game of StarCraft here. He's getting a nice Overlord spread. He just needs to get these in position, get some good scouting off, and I think he'll settle in very quickly into this series.
Yeah, absolutely. The only issue with Spawn, of course, is Aegis has a bit of an advantage because he is going into this game with a win under his belt. He's already taken a series in this tournament, so he's ready and raring to go, whereas Spawn had that bye, didn't get a chance to play yet.
And not to mention that series Aegis did win was a TVZ as well, so I mean, not only is he warmed up, he's warmed up into this matchup. I mean, that really kind of works out nicely for him. And it looks like that 100 gas, by the way, for Spawn was just to get the metabolic boost out. Like I said in the previous game, super standard for Zerg. Just get the metabolic boost out, get some map coverage there. It can help repel Hellions. You're in a good position if you do that.
Absolutely. We are looking at our Terran player's base as well. He is once again doing that Hellion build we saw in the last game we casted, actually, which is the factory before Command Center, which means the gas was just a little bit earlier, so he will be going for those Hellions early on, just to do a little bit more damage, and it'll be interesting to see whether or not Spawn will be able to deal with this. He does have a couple lings on the field poking forward, going to go ahead and force this SCV to run all the way home, and he actually might kill that SCV. The lings are so close, and he does take out that first SCV. That's a nice little victory in your mind.
First blood. Oh wait, sorry, was that the wrong game?
I think you're just a little bit off. It's okay. You're learning.
I'm learning League of Legends. I'm ashamed of it. We do have metabolic boost just about to finish up here. That'll be done well in time for the Hellions coming out across the map. So Spawn getting a nice opener here. No matter what Aegis does with these Hellions, I think Spawn's going to be all right against it.
Yeah, he did poke up the ramp, so he saw that there was indeed going to be an expansion. That's pretty much all he saw. So he does know that any sort of early aggression is going to be just a hair delayed. it won't be immediately, so he feels comfortable enough to drop down this third base. We do see back at spawns natural, he does have a couple queens ready to go, not quite doing the triple queen yet. It is on the way. Not quite out on the field, though. It's going to be here a little bit after these Hellions hit. However, they're going to poke over the third base, scout that. He's going to know that that is on the way as well here.
Aegis has the exact same thing going on this game as he has in the previous 2 games. He does have these Hellions, by the way, running up into the main base, and he's going to get a pretty decent scout off here. He needs to make sure to try to stay away from that creep because these Zerglings do have metabolic boost. Those are going to get taken out. Pretty much no damage done, no real interesting scouting done. I mean, he got the third base scout. He sees that there's no roach warn or anything. So, I mean, he kind of knows it's just going to be a standard Zerg opener. Once again, though, over in Aegis' base, this is just going to be the 3 racks factory that he was doing in the previous game. So this factory, fairly shortly here, probably going to cut Hellion production and switch over into Zergling production. I think he does that when he has 8 Hellions on the map or something like that. I think
6 or 8, yeah.
I think he makes a total of 10 in the game or something akin to that. Hellions going to be pushing out. They're not going to be able to do all that much with all these Lings here. And the Queen's in good position. We have the Evolution Chambers up on top of the ramp as well. And Spawn's setting himself up into a pretty good macro position. Needs to make sure to take note from the previous games, though. He needs to have something ready for this bio mine attack that Aegis has been doing. The mines have now started in the production tab. So Spawn's timer in his head there, it needs to be ticking right now. He needs to get a Baneling Nest. He needs to get a Roach Warren. He needs to get something up to help defend against that.
Yeah, right now just sticking with those Lings and lots of drones. 9 more drones were on the way, just now popping out. Baneling Nest dropping down, so he will be responding with Banelings as opposed to that Roach option. I'm very, very excited to see this. I have been watching, like I said earlier, I have been watching a little bit of Spawns play, and I have seen a lot of really good control versus mines, but due to the volatile nature of the mines, you can play versus them almost perfectly and still lose all of your links to 1 mine shot.
The volatile nature of mines, pun intended right there, guys.
Indeed.
I know that, by the way, Spawn does really like doing burrowed Baneling play as well, so I really hope that we see that. I was watching him bait Terran players into the burrowed Banelings over and over, and by the way, this creep thread, absolutely beautiful. He'll have plenty of heads up when the biomine does start pushing out. It looks like Hellion's going to be pushing forward here, and there's actually a spine crawler down there. I think that's kind of an interesting option there, as stimmed up bio really just kind of pushes straight through spine crawler. I really don't think it's that great of a help. I think this is more to help push off the Hellions and stop them from denying the creep spread than anything else. Aegis' base, by the way, this army's starting to get pretty strong here. A lower Marauder count than in the previous couple of games. I don't know why exactly. I think that he's just kind of scouting out Spawn and kind of seeing that there's really, well, I don't know. There weren't that many Banelings there, so I'm surprised that they're, I don't know. I'm curious as to why he's going for a lower Marauder count. Do you have any inclination there, Sleeper?
It could be pretty much anything he's seen. He did see a higher Ling count as opposed to going for Roaches or something, so I suppose that could be it. It also might be the fact that he is going for a fairly fast 3rd command center here. It's a pretty standard timing, but it's coming out just a hair earlier, which means he cut a couple of Marauders to get that out. It's certainly not going to change too terribly much once this engagement does happen, as Spawn already having those Banelings on the field with centrifugal hooks about halfway done.
That is such a fun word
to say. It is such a fun word.
We do have the Spire coming onto the field. Oh, what are you seeing there, Sleeper?
I'm seeing Burrow coming out from Spawn, so he will be going for those Baneling landmines, which we all love so much.
Yes, we do, and like I was saying, Spire now coming out on the field, 30 Zerglings in production. Guess what time, guys? It's about time to ramp up some aggression out of Impulse Spawn, I'm thinking here. There's a lot of Lings. That Centrifugal Hook's going to be finishing up pretty soon here. 2-2 is on the way as well. Spire just about to finish up. I'd say in about 1.5 to 2 minutes, we're going to be getting some big aggression coming out of Spawn. That being said, Aegis is in a pretty good position here. Actually, he has 2 medevacs full of Marines and mines. Pardon me, that's Marauders and Marines moving out across the top side of the map. The Hellions threatening at the front. Oh man, he's pulling Spawn out of position a bit here, but really his medevacs aren't quite ready to drop yet. So I think that maybe if he delayed these Hellions just a little bit. Oh, well actually, Spawn going to be pushing out across the map. I can't tell what Spawn is thinking right now.
Full surround on those Hellions is going to clean those up. Not a problem at all, but here come the medevacs going into that 3rd base, dropping down Spawn just now, realizing that there are units in his 3rd, pulling everything back. He thought he was in a pretty dang good position there, but suddenly there are Marine Marauder in his 3rd, and it will fall here.
Oh, that is such a nasty hit there. Spawn losing his 3rd base. Thankfully for him, he actually does have another 3rd base already in production, as well as a macro hatchery. So this actually isn't like a devastating blow. It hurts. but this does not kill Spawn off. He still has a pretty strong econ going. His third base still ahead of Aegis by quite a bit. There are a lot of mines at the front here, though. I mean, Spawn's going to need to be careful if he wants to do some sort of counter harassment, but he has so much on the field now. I feel like he needs to start doing something because that's a lot of larva that doesn't go straight into the economy. By the way, 71 drones to 53 harvesters. I think Spawn's in a pretty good position. These medevacs coming back over, going towards that natural expansion. Spawn still not quite responding to that. That's going to be dropping down in that natural. This can do quite a bit of damage. Here comes the response from Spawn. Mutalisk coming in from the back, might be able to pick off a medevac or two. Meanwhile, Zergling coming in front. Great positioning here by Aegis. This is not going to be able to do all that much damage, though. Just some drones dead.
He is going to go ahead and pick up and fly away, giving those Mutalisks time to put a decent amount of hurt on those medevacs, and those medevacs will indeed fall, but it allowed those units to do just a tiny bit more damage, put a little bit of damage on the Mutalisks, and force the army once again to just run around all over Spawn's map. However, luckily, due to this really solid creep spread, they're able to move pretty darn fast. We do see the army from Aegis is going to go ahead and push out to this third base location where he will go ahead and clean out the Ling that was just sort of chilling in the back there behind the mineral line and start lifting off his command center to fly over and take that third base, which is actually really delayed because Aegis has been playing this game so much safer than he has been playing the other ones. No quick, like, huge attack for early game. He's instead been doing little pokes, little drops, little this, little that. I think he definitely respects his opponent and has the knowledge that his opponent is pretty decent.
We have Banshees we have Mutalisks coming into the natural expansion here. Missile turret. Oh, missile turret just finishing up there for Aegis. So he's going to be this one. Oh, the mines. Oh my goodness. Flying right next to those. Needs to be so careful, but here comes the entire army of Spawn. Positioning, I don't know. I think I could call this fairly aggressive here. Mutalisks just going to be poking back and forth. These mines are in such a great position right behind the supply depot wall. Spawn, however, is very good at engaging these mines, just throwing up 2 or 3 Zerglings at a time, taking out the mine jobs and then pushing in a little bit harder. Cloaking field, by the way, was researched for Aegis. I'm not exactly sure why. That is the Banshee cloak. And we don't really have any Banshees on the field right now, and I don't know, I think we only have 1 starport. We have 2 starports on the field, so I think maybe a misclick, maybe he was going for Raven energy or something, because we have no Banshees on the field and only 2 starports. It's not even transitioning into Sky Terran. Viking going to get taken out. This Overlord farm has been found, unfortunately. Mutalisks just kind of flying around, and Spawn pretty content just kind of sitting back, getting his army ready, getting a lot of Banelings on the field here, and just kind of getting ready to, well, pull back, forward, backwards, and forward. Spawn apparently can't quite decide where he wants to be in this game. Does have 4 bases up and running, though, which is good.
Well, the thing is, he can't afford to engage any of these locations. Aegis playing a very solid Turtle Terran. Ooh, now he's actually going to go and move down the ramp here and start engaging this army. There goes the army, a perfect split from Spawn moving in. There's so many mines, though. He is going to go ahead and get in there. Oh, he is going to take out a ton of units there. Aegis is going to go ahead and retreat behind the supply depot wall, forcing Spawn back, but that suddenly, in a quick couple shots of Banelings, couple solid mine hits, it is 195 supply to 177 here. Not the biggest difference.
Oh, the Widow Mine over that third base, going to get a huge shot off on those Mutalisks, and the missile turret's going to push it back as well. That third base just about impregnable by air. This natural expansion, though, very, well, just kind of open right now. Quite literally, the supply depots are down. There are no Widow Mines there defending. Burrowed Banelings are right outside that natural expansion. I think it's going to try to bait Aegis into that. Oh, my goodness, the lines going. Standing with just a few units. Does not want to reveal those quite yet. He had those selected, though. Here comes the bio. Oh, my goodness. God. He's just dancing around these Widows. Burrowed Banelings there. And I swear he almost knows that those are there right now.
This is the most tense moment of all time. Those mines. Oh, he does scan and take them out, denying us our joy, our moment of complete and utter bliss. But still a pretty decent positioning there from Spawn. He looks like he will go in here with some kind of, maybe a little bit of his units. Maybe, kind of.
Oh, that is just slaughter there by Spawn. That was just completely wiped out the army. We do have the Thor left there and a lot of medevacs. But, oh man, it looks like we have a massive Mutalisks ball up on the north side of the map here, and that's going to be pushing out into that main base. Only 1 missile turret there, and he's right in the production facilities. In the meantime, Aegis pushing out across the middle of the map.
Yes, he is indeed. We do have a ton of Lings being remacroed. No Banelings quite yet. 6 on the way. There is a pretty decent little bio ball here with a Thor and Banshee for support. Muta still wrecking the main base of Aegis, but here he comes moving in. A ton of Lings gonna go and surround the entire bio ball of Aegis. The Thor getting surrounded, the units getting surrounded. The only thing left in the air is the Medivacs and that Banshee due to the fact that the Mutalisks are busy killing lots of other things.
Oh my goodness, Spawn might just pull out a victory there, and a nice hit there. The Zerglings pushing out across the map. Aegis is reeling right now, down by 60 supply. Mutalisks in the main base, right in that production line. We have all these Medivacs flying out, Banelings being morphed in to help take out the supply depot wall, and it looks like Aegis might just drop game number 1 here.
He is certainly on the back foot here.
Oh, Thor hits!
A couple solid Thor hits and a good mine shot, I believe that was. Gonna go ahead and clean up what is left of that Mutaball, but I think the damage may have been done there. The armory is burning, the reactor on the barracks is burning, everything is on fire, and the Muta's gonna go ahead and fly away what is left of them to fight another day. A decent bit of Ling Bane still on the field as well. And a 5th base.
That armory might just die, which is just kind of annoying.
22.
And it's down to 20 health. It's down to 15, 13,
and he's moving,
and
oh
my goodness, saving it at 5 HP left there. Oh my gosh. I think we had as many cheers for that as we did for the Baneling landmine there. Zergling's going to get the surround. Oh, picking that Thor up into the medevac there. It's a shame we didn't have the Mutalisks in that spot. Spawn just plain flat out has a better income right now. He's up on 5 bases to 3. He has more workers. He has a bigger army. And what are the upgrades that we're at? 2-2 pretty much all the way around. There's no advantage right now for Aegis. He needs some solid hits here. Oh, speaking of solid hits, solid Baneling hits there. And it looks like Aegis' army going to get cleaned up once again by the Zergling Baneling Muta of Spawn.
And he is moving forward. However, a nice drop off by that on that Thor there. Gonna go ahead and get and hold the top of the ramp there. I really quick want to mention, of course, we have another pacifist command center.
Pacifist command center.
Yep.
Cannot land on the Zergling.
Cannot land on the Ling.
Cannot land on the Ling. It looks like the Mutalisks is going to come in there and punish that guy for being a pacifist. That's right, guys. Violence is always the answer.
Absolutely. Always.
Always. Zergling Baneling just kind of chilling out in the pretty much right outside the natural expansion. You're not going to quite be able to take out that command center there, which really, if he was able to do that, oh, nice medevac snipe there. If he was able to take out that command center, it would actually be a very, very big hit. I do not know if there's another one. No, there's not an extra command center anywhere right now for Aegis, so he can't really afford to lose that 3rd base. This is a pretty big Mutaball here for Spawn. Aegis really has his work cut out for him as long as Spawn remembers to magic box over those Thors, making sure that the Mutalisks are not clumped up over the Thors to take the splash damage. He'll be just fine, and it looks like he's going to be flying near those Thors, and he's going to magic box him.
He's going
One
right in
Thor
there.
going to go down almost instantly there. The second Thor, here come the Zerglings and the Banelings crashing up into the natural.
The wall was down, the Lings, the Banelings, everything getting right up in the base. However, it looks like Aegis will hold just barely once again with a little bit of units left on the field. However, the Mutalisks going straight for that command center. However, gonna go ahead and fly away due to the fact that he still has those pacifist Lings there.
We do have 76
there we
Zerglings
go.
there. You're finally gonna take the dot. Yes, he is. 76 Zerglings are now in production right now. We have Zerg Flower Care Base level 1 coming into effect here, showing that he really just wants to stick with these Mutalisks, wants to keep them alive as long as possible. For those of you who do not know, the Thor actually does a low damage multi-hit attack, so it's just a lot of different missiles hitting, so that +1 Carapace really knocks down the damage that the Thor is doing. So Aegis right now just trying to establish this 4th base here. He's been on 3 for a while. Spawn has been on 5 for quite some time now, just getting a lot more Zerglings, a lot more Banelings out onto the map here, and I think that he's just going to continue just shoving units down the throat of Aegis to the point that Aegis cannot keep up with the macro of it. I really think that that is just his general strategy here.
Yeah, and it is certainly working out quite well. One thing I do want to mention real quick about Spawn's play, if you look at the mini-map right now, take one of Spawn's units, hit V, and just look at his vision. That's Aegis' vision.
There we go.
Spawn basically has vision of the entire map. He has great Overlord positioning. You were talking about an Overlord farm. That just doesn't exist for Spawn right now. His Overlords are spread out everywhere, having complete vision of all of the drop paths while moving around and being active on the map with his Mutalisks, with his Ling Bane. He is being very active. We do see Aegis is moving out, gonna go ahead and stim and try and take out some of those Mutalisks. They're super clumped up. Here comes the army of Spawn moving right in, catching all of the Thors. So many Banelings left on the field. They are moving forward, trying to catch what is left of that Bioball. The Mutas are cleaning up Marines. You know that is a bad sign. Spawn up almost 100 supply, and he is moving in for the kill. He smells that blood in the water, and here he goes. There's a planetary fortress here, as we know, can kill infinite units. But the Banelings.
Oh, the
planetary
falls. The Banelings killing off so many SCVs there. Spawn up by 100 supply. Mutalisks still up in the air. These Thors, they are getting repaired, but 2 of them are so low on health. Mutalisks trying to find the right angle, and guess what? 5 Ultralists on the way. Chitinous plating coming down. This is going to be the final push for Spawn.
Yes, he is setting up to go for those Ultras. Had a great bank, and now that bank isn't there because he hit S and held U for a little while, and suddenly he has 5 Ultras on the way and no bank. It's a great little trick for you fledgling Zerg players.
That's right. Just save up your resources. Just go straight for Ultras next time.
He is moving in, however, with 4 Ultras, excuse me, and some Lings and Mutilas. Here he goes, moving in. Ultra's gonna go ahead and catch some of these rallying Marines. The Thors try and get in the best possible position they can. One Thor falls. The second Thor falls. The Medivacs are desperately trying to pick up and move, but Aegis GG! Spawn takes game number 1!
Oh my goodness, that was such an incredible game by Spawn. We saw Aegis just annihilating his previous Zerg opponent, but Spawn coming back here saying, not today, folks, and coming through just so many banelings. Like you said, so freaking many banelings on the field here. It was ridiculous. And just able to pretty much quite literally overrun his opponent with just the sheer number of units. We do have our next game ready here. We're just going to take about a 2-minute break as we make sure that we get everything set up properly. Stick around, guys. Best of 3 series, game number 2.
It's going to be great.